to the first edition of Mainly NBA. Today we're going to be breaking down the MVP race for this upcoming 2020-2021 season. First off, I'd like to talk about kind of my front runner for the MVP. I believe at this point in time it is Kevin Durant. He's come back. I think he's surprised a lot of people with his ability to come back so quickly and at such a high level. I think I thought of him being still an all-star level talent. I didn't necessarily expect him to come back and be averaging like 28 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, just doing it kind of all, shooting the ball at an incredibly efficient level, and the Nets look like a real dangerous team in the East. I think with that combination of stuff, with the Nets probably more than likely being a top 2 seed, and Kevin Durant being the far and away best player. You have Kyrie Irving, great player, but I think Kevin Durant is an upper echelon compared to Kyrie. He's in the next level, next tier of player. I think it's his, not award to lose, but I think he's got a really good shot to win the award. Next, we have my second leading candidate for the MVP. I believe it'd be Anthony Davis. I know it seems crazy that it's not LeBron, but I think LeBron's going to step back and take more of a playmaker role. I think he knows how to get himself ready for the regular season. He's won the MVP awards. He's just trying to rack up those championships. He's trying to get to MJ's 6 titles. So I think this year he's going to, rest, get his body ready. He had a short off season. He's older. I think he just had his 36th birthday. So I think he'll kind of step back. I think Anthony Davis will have potential to really possibly average about 28, 29 points per game, even close to that 30 range points per game. Rebound the ball at about 10 rebounds per game and be extremely efficient. I believe last year he was down in shooting mid-range jumpers, like his normal percentages, down from his career averages. I think if he gets those up to where he normally gets them to and takes the same amount of shot attempts, same amount of threes, gets to the line at the same rate, I think there's a very good shot. Anthony Davis could finish in the top 3 for MVP voting. I do definitely think he has a chance to even win the award, especially if guys like Durant have a lot of rest. He's coming off an injury. You don't really know what's going to happen with him. But overall, I think AD has a really good shot to win the MVP award. My third is a familiar face to the MVP top 3 in James Harden. I think the biggest thing against James Harden right now is kind of people are tired of the way he plays. The media dislikes him because of the whole trying to force his way out of Houston, going to all the strip clubs, all that stuff. So I'd be really interested if he won. I think he's going to put up the numbers comparable to an MVP. I just don't know if when push comes to shove, if the media is going to want to vote for him over KD, AD, the guys I've mentioned already previously, LeBron, someone like that, who is looked more fondly upon in the media. Another thing is just team success. I mean, there's a lot of those guys, AD and KD, in the East and the West, they look like they're going to be competing for the top seed in the West, if not, probably the very worst, finishing as a top 3 seed. So with that helps your MVP case. I don't know if Harden's Rockets are going to necessarily be a top 3 seed. They very well could be. I mean, they got the Clippers and the Nuggets who are kind of projected ahead of them, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets are able to sneak into one of those top 3 seeds. I think more likely they'd be a 4 through 6 seed, which is tough. I know Russ did it a couple of years ago with, I believe, a 6 seed Oklahoma City Thunder team, but I just don't think he's going to get it done unless he's going to be one of those top 3 seeds. We have Giannis. I think the biggest thing going against Giannis is voter fatigue. I mean, you very rarely see back-to-back MVPs. I mean, you saw, I think the last MVP was Steph Curry, he won it 1 year. Somewhat questionable, but they think he deserved it. And then to follow up, he had one of the greatest individual seasons from a point guard in NBA history. And you saw that again with Giannis. Like, Giannis came out, he had a great year, deserved the MVP. The following year, this past season, he was able to put up more incredible numbers. His team success before the bubble, they're on pace to win 70-something games. He was playing elite defense. It's just not something that I think he's gonna do this year. He's not gonna do more things to impress the voters. So more likely than not, I just think it's gonna be tough on voter fatigue to really give him a third MVP. Like, that's very a very tough thing to do is win 3 consecutive MVP awards, and I just don't think Giannis is going to have the continued success to do that. And also, just early on in the season, his scoring numbers are down a little bit from years previous. I think he's maybe taking it a little bit easier, getting himself ready for the playoffs. But he's going to come with that elite defense. He's going to still probably be, more likely than not, a guy that's going to finish probably somewhere in the top 3, definitely probably in the top 5 for MVP voting, just based on team success and just his ability as a superstar player. So our 5th candidate for MVP is LeBron James. I know I said earlier, I don't think it's likely because I think he is going to do that playmaker role, but he very easily, LeBron being as talented as he is, he could come out and average, 27, 8, and 10 on 55 to 60% field goal, like super efficient scoring. He could step up, play. He played great defense last year, which he hadn't last couple of years before that. So he's very capable. I would not be surprised if LeBron comes out and has another MVP season. Push him. I believe that'd be his 5th MVP award. I think he would like that. He's just trying to rack up as many accolades at this point. He's right. The GOAT conversation really between him and MJ. He really needs some more awards to rack up because, MJ has pretty much all of them. Like with the titles, he's trying to catch him in titles and also an MVP. But so it's a big year for LeBron. I think if he doesn't get MVP, he's going to even be more motivated to win the finals, just to kind of add to that resume, kind of put him to the very top of the totem pole, which I don't think he's there yet. I think he probably would need to win an MVP finals and a finals MVP to even get really in that conversation with MJ. But, LeBron, he just defies age. He defies kind of what we expect players that are 35, 36 years old to be able to do. So I would honestly not be surprised if he comes out and has another MVP caliber season. The last candidate is Kawhi Leonard. I think based on the Clippers' team success and also just his play on the field, play on the court, I think puts him in a good position to win MVP. I think it's more of a long shot because he's not one to really try and rack up these accolades. I know he's won Defensive Player of the Year awards, and people have projected him to be in the MVP conversation, but he's big on load management. He's already was injured out for a couple games this year. I don't think that's going to be too much of a difference, but he's big on load management. He's not really big on trying to get his own stats. He's one that's going to get his body ready for playoffs. But if he does decide this is the year I want to try and go out and win the MVP, he does have a decent shot at it. The Clippers, I think, are going to be as good of a team as they were last year in the regular season as they coming into this year. They lost Montrezl Harrell, but they replaced him with Serge Ibaka, who I think fits a little bit better with Kawhi, which should help his case. He's a better shooter than Harrell. He's a better rim protector than Harrell. I think Kawhi is definitely going to appreciate that, and Kawhi likes him. I think they have a good relationship from their time in Toronto together, so I think that's always a bonus. So I look forward to seeing Kawhi and the Clippers and making an interesting postseason. My second to last MVP candidate is my baby boy, Luka Doncic. I'm a Celtics fan, but I'm a big Luka Doncic fan as well. I just think he's probably like a year or two away from being in any real MVP conversation. I believe he finished 3rd or so last year. I just don't expect him to win the MVP. He could very easily finish 3rd. He's a triple-double machine. He's off to a rough start, though, this season. He's without Kristaps, which really hurts him, I think. And I just don't think he's ready yet to take that leap. He's already made that leap in the first-team All-NBA, which is a tough leap to make. But I think in order for him to be MVP, he's really going to have to he's going to have to step up the defense. He's going to have to get more consistent three-point shot. I think as a career shooter, I think he's only 32% from 3. He's going to need to get up to at least league average. I know he takes a lot of difficult shots, but you got to be hitting better than that if you want to be an MVP, especially one of his caliber who is best skill is kind of a playmaking shot creator type. He's going to need to be able to consistently knock down three-point shots at a better rate than 32%. And the last candidate I have for MVP is Nikola Jokic. He's definitely an outside shot to make it, just based on the fact that he's a playmaker. He's not going to be a guy that's going to go out there and score. He's not going to be a 30-point per game scorer. He's not going to be leading the league in scoring. That's just not who he is. He's a triple-double machine. He makes all of his teammates around him better. You can't play him off the court. He's a very unique player that I do like watching. I just don't think that he has, at this point in time, a great shot of winning MVP, just based on the fact that he's not going to be that guy that's going to score 26, 27 points a game. Um, I think he's capable of doing that, but I think it's his nature to kind of get his teammates involved, facilitate, kind of help his team in that way. The lane that I do see Jokic being able to win MVP is if the Nuggets kind of have an outstanding season record-wise. Maybe they're the number one seed. Maybe by a couple games, they kind of have this outstandingly efficient season, and they're by far and away the best regular season team. I think him just being the best player on that team would give him a nod for MVP. But that's really the only way I see him winning MVP is if they are that number one seed. He's an incredible talent, but just being the facilitator that he is and not being the scorer that typically wins MVP, I just think it's a real tough shot for him. This far, I want to just thank you for sticking around and watching. Next week, I will be predicting the NBA Rookie of the Year race with the top. I'll probably go top 5 candidates and who I think is my favorite. Just a reminder, if you forgot already, KD is my pick at this point in the season for MVP. So I hope you guys all have a great day.